himself, the illusion master. We'll call him the illusionist, piloting his well-used Lord of the Unreals. Todd wasn't even going to play this deck yesterday, and then he was going to play a totally different deck and was like, well, I can't get the cards I need, so I'm just here to have fun anyway. I'll just play this Illusions deck. Ended up in the top 4 of the tournament. This is further than he's ever made it. He's cracked top 8 a couple times, but never made it to the past the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, this is his chance to actually take down one of these SCG Opens and tie his wife for having a first place finish in an SCG tournament.
Right. Of course, on your left, once again, David Dobernea not going to make it easy. Mono red is not a good matchup for Illusions.
No. Well, they're both going down. For a second there, I thought Todd was going to 6 while David was staying on a 7, but both players don't like their hands. They're going to check their 6s and see if they're better.
Now, one saving grace maybe for Todd is a card we've seen several times this weekend has been Geist Flame. And David Dobernea does not have Geist Flame in his deck, which would be pretty brutal if he did. That card, kill your illusion, flashback, kill your illusion. It's like Ancient Grudge before illusion.
He still has some tough ones, though. He's got 2 Grim Lavamancers, or 3 Grim Lavamancers, and 2 Spike Shot Elders.
And 2 Goblin Arsonists.
And 2 Goblin Arsonists,
as it wasn't hard enough, yeah.
Todd's going to have to get... His big goal in this match is he's going to try to get a Lord of the Unreal into play, hope his opponent taps out, and play Phantasmal Image copying Lord of the Unreal, which then gives the rest of his team Shroud. So all these ping abilities are not going to be able to deal with any of his illusions, because the interesting thing about Lord of the Unreal is it says all other phantoms, which a Phantasmal Image will always keep its phantom.
Or just all phantoms, or all illusions.
All illusions.
Not other. It does not say other.
Sorry, not other. All illusions, and Phantasmal Image continues to stay an illusion even after it copies something, so it gives itself the boost if it's copying a Lord of the Unreal, which then will protect all your other illusions and give them hexproof. So that's the big move. That's what Todd's going to have to do in this match if he's going to take it down. Or pray that David doesn't draw many things and he can get some Phantasmal Bears in it.
Yeah, fair enough. Looks like players are going down to 6 cards here.
Yeah.
So both of them going down to 6. Now, Todd does have Mental Misstep, which could help out a little bit.
That's really good in this matchup. Todd said he didn't really like his Mental Missteps main, but they've been, amazing in the top 8.
So it goes turn 1 Taxian Probe, and here we go. I think is that a Brimstone Volley?
It looks like 3 Mountains, a Skirk Noble, a Brimstone Volley, and a Koth.
Okay. So Todd just opts to tap for the turn 1 Taxian Probe, so no bear action here. And ships the turn back to David.
Alright, well, it looks like Todd's hand is Dissipate, Mana Leak, Dismember, 2 Lord of the Unreals, no land.
So there comes Stormkirk Noble.
And he hits an island he needed for his lords.
Alright, time to get Unreal. But he is a human. Lord of the Unreal is a human, meaning that Noble cannot be blocked by him.
Did not know, assumed it wasn't. He was just informed that his creature was a human.
Yep, so many random humans. It's become a nearly default creature type. And there goes Goblin Arsonist.
Oh, wow. He didn't have another mountain in his hand.
No land there either.
Wow. And then Todd hits his land drop. I can definitely see him attacking with his lord. I mean, the Arsonist has to block, right? Yeah. Alright, the second lord comes down. And then Dismember Skirk Noble. David's left with just 1 mountain in play, hoping to draw a couple more lands. Todd has a couple counterspells if he untaps. But there is a second land drop for David, so we're going to have a game.
Yeah. Yeah, looked like Todd might be able to take some kind of easy win here, but not the case. Todd sitting on Dissipate, Mana Leak, I believe.
Yeah. Decent hand to have as defensive spells, but the great thing is that there's an Arc Trail, 2 to the Lord, 1 to Todd. The interesting thing is he can't protect his creatures with those counterspells that efficiently. So they're just there to protect him from David's proactive spells.
All right.
Here comes down a Shrine, which will get countered.
Yeah, that's going away. Mana Leak by Todd. Do you like Mana Leak or Dissipate there?
I would have dissipated.
So now he's going to play
look,
Lord of the Real.
And,
yeah, now he can't do that. No, so Todd draws Lord of the Real. If he kept the Mana Leak, he could play the Lord and hold up Mana Leak, but he cannot play Lord or hold up Dissipate.
Yeah, I would definitely, because it's not like David's not going to... There's a Mana Leak.
Another leak off the top. All right, Todd plays the Lord of the Unreal ships.
Which now is just going to die.
Todd does not Mana Leak, instead of waiting to Mana Leak one of David's threats. But
3 of Todd's big creatures are gone now. This isn't exactly where you want to be. These are the important spells of the game.
There's a Stormkirk Noble. I think Todd's plan right now is just to play a long game and try and attrition out of it. That's not going to work so well when your opponent has a Grim Lava Mancer.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe you can start countering all of David's spells, but that Grim Lava Mancer is going to be rough for Todd. He needs to draw another Dismember pretty much to deal with it. And Dismember can be a liability against a red deck. There's Koth. Dissipate comes down for Todd Anderson.
Doesn't attack with his Grim Lava Mancer. That's pretty interesting.
Misses a point.
Draws Phantasmal Dragon. He finally gets caught on camera with an illusion and a targetable ability.
Yeah, Grim Lava Mancer versus Phantasmal Dragon. The Phantasmal Dragon does not end up the favorite there. Alright, he's going to go for another Koth. Koth number 2. I don't think Todd's got anything this time. Alright, yeah, untaps a mountain. Plays the mountain. Going to Servant for 4 and then have Lava Mancer mana available. Alright, Todd just concedes.
Yeah, it can't beat a Koth. Alright, Todd loses game 1.
Frowny face for Todd. Well, that means we have a little bit of time here, so we're going to give away 6 months of Stars to the Games Premium. For those of you who aren't following along, the way this normally works, we give away 3 months in the quarterfinals, 6 months in the semifinals, and a full year in the finals. We gave away 3 months already last night. We're going to give away 6 months now, a year in the finals, as I said, and then also run it all back tonight. So you've got 5 more chances, including this time, to win some free premium. And you're going to want it to see some of the best Magic content out there on the internet. So the way this works is on Twitter. I'm going to ask a question. You respond to the question with the hashtag.
You're going to ask it here.
Or, sorry, I'm going to ask it on here, also on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you respond to the hashtag SCG Premium. We'll see it right down there. You just put it in your tweet, and we'll choose one person who answers the question correctly and uses that hashtag, so make sure to use it, to win 6 months of StarCityGames.com Premium. Here's your question. Last night in the quarterfinals, in Todd Anderson, we saw him defeat a deck. What deck did he beat? Tell us. Todd see it here in the semifinals. He made it through. What did he beat in the quarterfinals? Tell us, and you could win 6 months of free premium. Full of content by strategic masterminds like yourself, Player of the Year, Brad Nelson, POY.
Jerry Thompson, Patrick Chapin, Brian Kibler.
Videos, decks, technology, the works, for any format pretty much too. I mean, Drew writes some great legacy articles, John Medina writes some great financial articles, and not just all strategy. If you just want to follow John Medina's advice, you could easily make your money back. Ben Bleiweiss writes his great financial columns at the start of every set, had his full Innistrad review, so a lot of great stuff there to check out. Speaking of Jerry, I walked by earlier, I talked to him, he's here, ready to battle in the Legacy Open, playing a bug deck featuring Snapcaster Mage, so...
And featuring Unearth.
And Unearth, yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Unearth Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second, boys and girls. Snap up your Unearths now. Could be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
So, looking at the sideboards here, I'm sure Todd's thought about this a little bit. He's had some time to...
I mean, he's got to bring in his gut shots.
Yeah, gut shot has to come in. Flash Freeze comes in. Revoke Resistance does not come in. Dissipate does not come in. Steel Sabotage does not come in. I think we're going to see Todd cut his 2 Dissipates. Little slow. Yeah. 3-mana counterspell. He's bringing in 4 Flash Freeze.
I mean, I would assume he would take out a couple of his Phantasmal Dragons, too.
Yeah, I don't...
They just seem really bad in this matchup.
Dragons does not seem good here. It trades with pretty much everything. And so, that's 6 cards right there you can cut. You'd have to cut 1 more to fit everything in. Maybe you don't want all 4 Dismembers. Maybe you don't want all the probes.
He has 4 Dismember main?
4 main deck with Dismember, yeah.
Yeah, I still think you need all your Dismembers. You have to play something like that. Like, you have to kill those Grim Lava Mancers.
That's true. Just actually can't win.
Yeah, you can't win with the Grim Lava Mancer on the board.
I guess you do have Gut Shot after sideboarding.
I still think he needs all that. Like, I think this matchup is there's not a lot of like pressure going to Todd's head if he has enough creatures on the board. So you need all this removal even if you lose some life.
Although, I mean, if you're playing against a red deck, can you really afford 4 Dismember, 3 Gut Shot? Like, that's a lot of potential life loss.
Well, his chances of winning this matchup are very slim. Like, he's a huge dog. Like, I think the only way to come out of this is to take a chance and have, like, hit 1 or 2 of your removal spells when you need them right away. Like, he's going to need to draw perfect.
Now, I don't know how things went down in the Swiss. I'd imagine Todd might have played mono red in the Swiss and came away victorious, but who knows?
I talked to Todd earlier today, and he was looking to split. he wanted the top 4 split because he knew he was in a train wreck matchup.
Yeah, a little despondent. Mono red, not what you want to be facing if you're packing a bunch of illusions.
Especially if it's smiling at you.
Looks like Todd Anderson's going to keep. Here we go. Turn 1 Highland. No play. See several lands in Todd Anderson's
Mental
hand.
Misstep, Lord of the Unreal, Mana Leak, and a Gut Shot.
And looks like 2 lands after that.
Yeah.
Mountain. And David has to decide, all right, just passes the turn, does not want to run into a Mental Misstep. Flashes over Todd Anderson. Just going to play the control deck here.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely save my Lord of the Unreals for when I draw my Phantasmal Images. I think that's a big one. Like, he has a bunch of reactive spells right now. Just dropping that guy into play isn't going to do anything.
Right.
It's just going to die.
Mana Leaks a Shrine of Burning Rage. So Shrine down.
Ugh, another Shrine's going to resolve.
That's pretty bad for Todd. And there's a Shrine of Burning Rage, which resolves. And once in play, Todd doesn't have a good answer to it.
Alright, he just plays both of his guys.
So he plays Lord of the Unreal and Phantasmal Bear. Unless Todd brought in Steel Sabotage, which I highly doubt.
Yeah, I don't think he brought in Steel Sabotage just for a Shrine.
Alright, so Shrine ticks up to 1.
If you put enough pressure on your opponent, the Shrine is just a removal spell.
Or an opponent removing spell, depending on what stage of the game
An
you're
opponent removing spell.
in. Destroy target opponent. Is that Spike Shot Elder? I think that's Spike Shot Elder. Ugh.
Well, I mean, we have a Gut Shot.
So you can Gut Shot that or misstep it.
Well, I would let it resolve because it doesn't do anything on this board.
I mean, I'd let it resolve too, then probably Gut Shot
Gut Shot it, yeah.
Alright, just pass it back to Todd. Todd untaps, draws, plays his island. Gut Shot the Elder. Did you see that one coming, David? I'm sure he did. So he's seen deck
Yeah,
lists,
so
I
I
guess.
saw deck
but
list, yeah.
It's crazy. Yesterday we saw all of the 1 mana cost
Phyrexian
mana cards except for Noxious Revival. But Marrow Shards we saw play, Gut Shot, Mutagenic Growth. It looks like David's going to crack.
Yeah,
Shrine
David
to
knows
kill
that the
that
only
Lord
way
of the
he
Unreal.
loses this game is if he takes too much damage.
Yeah, if that Lord of the Unreal, if there's a good Lord of the Unreal draw or something on Todd Anderson's side. And so it kills the Lord. I believe it drops down to 18. Arc Trail, 2 to bear, 1 to you.
No, other way around.
Or 1 to bear, 2 to you. Fair enough. And there's a... Not sure... What's the full text list?
Oh,
card?
it's a Berserker. The
Yeah, Stormblood Berserkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes down, but Todd quickly dismembers it. Todd untaps. I think he's got Hand of Snapcaster Mage, Mental Misstep, Mana Leak.
not terrible.
Or Flash Raise, sorry, not Mana Leak. Now there's the Mana Leak. So Mana Leak makes 4. 3 counter spells and Snapcaster Mage sitting in Todd Anderson's hand.
Alright, that gets Mental Misstepped.
So that's Stormkirk Noble. I believe it gets Mental Misstep. And Todd plays his 5th land, Island. Just building up his mana. Not what you want if you're Todd, though.
Yeah, I mean, Mana Leak is pretty much dead now.
Todd draws Dismember. At 12 life, that Dismember would put him down to 8, which is a little precarious against a red deck.
Goblin Arsonist.
Goblin Arsonist. What you gonna do about that? All right, Snapcaster Mage, Mental Misstep.
Yeah.
I think you want to play the Mage. You just want to get in some beats, and on this board where the game is slowing down, it might be good for 6 damage.
Yeah, it might be, especially if his opponent doesn't have any creature removal.
All right. Todd flashes back the Misstep on the Arsonist. And that Snapcaster Mage is so unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a really good card.
such flexibility, and you get a 2-1 to boot. Todd draws another dismember.
Yeah, he did keep all 4 in.
Yeah, he kept all 4 in, and he's...
And now, like, this is the point where he didn't want to draw his 3rd and 4th one.
Yeah.
But I think the first 2 were really good.
Yeah, all 4 dismembers, not exactly what you want to see. All right, just David passes back. Looks like that's going to get it for 2 more.
Oh, Chapel.
And, yeah, draws one of his Moorland Heaths.
Or Moorland
Haunts.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the big cards.
Yeah.
For Todd and many other players. People are splashing for his land. We've seen White, we need X, and Todd's deck, too. It just splashes for Moorland Haunt.
Yeah, it's such a powerful card.
I mean, he's got 4 Revoke Existence in the sideboard, but other than that, just the Haunt. And the card just makes a bunch of 1/1s, helps you attrition them out. And here we go.
Very, very powerful card.
Todd Haunts. This gets a 1/1 Spirit. And with no action on David's side, it's actually a pretty quick clock for Todd Anderson. 3 damage here, 4 damage next turn, 5 damage the turn after that.
With also holding a Mana Leak and a Flash Freeze in case something happens.
I think that's Chandra's Phoenix coming down for David, but I imagine Todd's just going to counter that.
You think so? I mean, it's a difficult card to deal with, but Flash Freeze, and then I guess he has to put a removal spell at his head.
I mean, or you can just let it resolve and dismember it, go to 8.
Yeah, I almost like that play a lot more.
Yeah, I like resolve dismember. And then save your Flash Freeze for something else.
For like a Koth.
Or whatever. Or whatever's
the problem.
Yeah. All right, Todd Anderson drops to 8. Off his 3rd dismember, still holding his 4th.
No, 2 and 3.
Or 2 and 3.
He's holding his 3rd. All right, shock, and
he gets David to tap low and runs into Mana Leak.
That's exactly what he wanted to happen.
I'm sure Todd cannot be happy to get that Mana Leak out of his hand. Todd serves in for 3, holding on to Gutshot there.
All right, both players even at 8.
8 life. Todd will be able to serve in for 4 next turn, and that'll put David on turn 2 clock, or 2-turn clock. Incinerate from David. Todd is gonna Flash Freeze that, and kind of has to hope David wasn't like slow rolling a Koth or something, but he doesn't have it. And David taps 3 for
Brimstone Volley at the face, just to try to get that.
I know, isn't that the stealing card? Yeah, that's active treason, gains trample.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an interesting card to board in.
I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean it's operating that way. So yeah, takes 2. Todd goes to 6, and now there's a Berserker.
Ooh, Berserker. So Todd at just 6 life. David out of cards.
Yeah, it seems that Todd is going to make a token, untap, hope to draw like a...
Otherwise, he has to hope to draw a block. Otherwise, or something. Then he goes down to 2, right?
Well, yeah, if he top decks Snapcaster Mage, he's got the win. But yeah, he has to dismember, and his opponent has to top deck something to work.
Or if he has draws Flash Freeze or something.
Yeah.
In good shape. Just draws an island.
So the top deck of David is gonna matter.
I mean, I think if you're Todd,
well,
you just you could leave blockers back and just get in with your spirits.
I don't like this play.
Attack with everything, allow that.
Because now he's gonna block, and now he's gonna gut shot. He's still gonna be at 4 life.
And so I mean that dismember's dead now.
The other card. This means now he's gonna get multiple top decks.
Yeah,
especially like any burn cell doesn't kill him, but it gives him back Chandra's Phoenix that practically does. Noble, or the Stormkirk Noble.
Yep, and Todd makes another spirit here. All right.
All right, David is at 6, correct? I think he's at 6.
I do believe David.
Todd's at 4.
All right, so this drops David down to lethal next turn. Let's see if David finds an answer. David draws. And Real Grim Lawmancer, Todd takes game 2.
Oh, wow.
Whew, close.
We're going to 3. I did not think we'd be going to 3 there.
Wow.
At the end of that game, David was at 3, so those 3 tokens attack, put him at 3, ready to kill it for lethal, and we're going to game 3.
Shows you how powerful that Moorland Haunt is. I mean, we lost all the man lands, no more Creeping Tar Pit, no more Celestial Colonnade. But Moorland Haunt might be one way to still get some man land advantage.
Oh yeah, the land's insane.
Yeah,
just helps decks grind out a little bit. So like in a situation where they're not really able to do anything, they have this amazing ability to produce a 1/1 all the time.
Yeah, and you have like Gavany Township. I mean, all these lands are seeing play. I think we've seen all of them but Stesnia Bloodhall so far. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bloodhall got played eventually.
I would be surprised.
I could see it. I could see a deck playing one of Bloodhall.
They sure are one of.
Yeah, one of, and like if you're like a late game control deck and like they like try and like play Liliana or something, you're like, all right, Bloodhall it or something like that.
It's pretty interesting.
It's good against some planeswalkers. It's not good against Gideon, but you know, against Liliana it seems pretty reasonable. And also, like if you just play a draw go game, you can also just be like, all right, 2U, 2U, 2U. I had it unlimited. It was really good. Obviously, limited is a different story, but I can always see lands. You know, any land that can deal damage repeatedly, it's always something to consider. Even if it is 6 mana, it is like a 6 mana burn spell.
Yeah, that's very true.
Over and over. So looks like players are maybe gonna switch up their sideboard a little bit, maybe not.
I don't think Todd has much to do to change.
Yeah, really close game, and you just see Todd trying to squeeze every inch out of his cards there.
Yeah.
And, you know, just make everything work for him, and that game ended on a precarious low life total, but still got the victory. See if he can manage to pull out his second game in this matchup he feels is a nightmare matchup. What do you think the key to the last game was?
Exactly what Todd was doing. The explosive thing he can do is Phantasmal Image's Lord of the Real, but he has to grind him out like that. Get him down to no cards, hopefully neither have. I don't know if he has any dragons left in his deck, but
I doubt he does.
There's not many cards. Yeah, he must have just took out all his dragons. And probes. I'm guessing he took out multiple probes and maybe even Dissipate. He might have kept that in and just said screw probe.
Yeah, he might
just kept the counter magic in.
Yeah, he might just be trying to play the control deck and just be like, I'm gonna 1-for-1 you, 1-for-1 you, 1-for-1 into Oblivion, and then you know
try to get you with my Moorland Haunts and my Snapcaster Mages. To gain card advantage.
Yeah, deal some damage over time. Even you just attack with a Phantasmal Bear enough times, and if they refuse to kill it, it can be kind of rough.
Well, David is not refusing to kill anything in sight.
Yeah, and if I were David, I'd be doing the same thing. Just you play a bear, all right, Arc Trail, 1 to it, 2 to you, and you're just shaking your head. It's like Searing Blaze. I just get to play with Searing Blaze again. Except it's 2 damage instead. Yeah, it's mono red deck. We're talking about this a lot yesterday. Way different than the Zendikar iteration of the deck. I mean, you don't have Goblin Guide anymore, which is certainly huge, but you don't have Lightning Bolt or Searing Blaze or Stagger Shock or any number of...
Yeah, the most powerful new card is Brimstone Volley, though, which does deal 5 damage for 3 if a creature's died this turn. Which, as a mono red player, you get a little flexibility in when you want to cast that card.
Yeah, Brimstone Volley is quite excellent, and that card I expect to see plenty of play. I mean, also a couple other new additions. I mean, Strong Kirk Noble is certainly...
Yeah, it's a very powerful card.
It's basically Slith Firewalker if you have it on turn 1. And not being able to be blocked by humans is pretty relevant.
There are definitely a bunch of humans in this format.
Yeah, we've seen not just mono-human decks, but random creatures are just humans, which can be very, very relevant. Snapcaster Mage.
Mono-human decks.
Yeah, Snapcaster Mage, human. Lord of the Unreal, human.
Mirror Crusader, Hero of the Blade Hold.
Yeah.
Geist of St. Taft.
Isn't he a spirit?
I don't know.
Or is he a human
spirit? I have no clue. I don't think he can be human spirit, though.
Yeah, I don't know. My internet isn't working yet. We'll have to check it out in a little bit, but... Alright, so it looks like Todd's hand is just totally reactive. I think I see leak, Flash Freeze. I don't know if that's what you want on the draw here, because if he goes turn 1 Noble, you're in a bad place.
Yeah, he's mulliganing.
And Todd draws 3 more lands by peeking at the top of his deck, so I'm sure he's glad he's going to ship in that one back.
Yeah, you can't do anything without a Gut Shot or a Mental Misstep. I mean, he does have a lot of answers to a turn 1 Skirk Noble, so... I mean, you got to go back and hope to draw there.
Yeah, goes back and takes a mulligan. How do you feel about that peak there at the end? How do you feel about peaking in general?
Don't let it change any of your decisions. I'll peek when I'm curious, but never let it impact a decision because you always make wrong decisions based on it over time. If you do, I always, a lot of people that I talk to is I always draw that land when I peek, but then they might think about that. They're like, I should mulligan. I'm like, no, I'm going to draw that land. Then they just get caught. So if you look, just don't let it impact any of your decisions.
Do you feel like there's a subconscious thing there, though, that even if you're not letting it consciously impact your decisions, it still has the potential to impact your decisions?
I don't think so, because you can look at 7 cards and understand, like, you don't ever really, in Magic, you don't want to keep a hand that doesn't function without something else. Like, it's just really difficult to do that, especially on 7 cards. Like, the difference between 7 cards and 6 cards in this game is sometimes relevant, but most of the time it's not as relevant as people think it is. And having a better hand is just, a much better chance. Like, a lot of, like...
Oh, Todd's going down to 5.
Yeah, Todd has to go down to 5
cards between 5 and 7 cards quite pronounced.
That is big, yeah. 5 to 7 is a very big one.
All right, so going down to 5 cards for Todd Anderson. Not what he wants in this matchup. I'm trying to think of what Todd's draw could be to make this work. I mean, he needs... what if you're Todd? Do you want to see misstep, misstep?
You want to see a misstep, a couple lands, probably a couple counter spells, and you want David to flood out. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Todd took that last game, was because David flooded out, and I think that's what he needs. Like, this is a very train wreck matchup. Like, seeing Todd take game 2 was actually really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I actually was kind of curious to see game 3, be a legitimate game, because if Todd is sideboarded into a plan that's just 1-for-1-y, 1-for-1-y, 1-for-1-y with counter spells, I'd love to see that play out further and see if he can do it twice. But while getting down to 5, the 1-for-1 plan doesn't look so hot.
Yeah, the 1-for-1-ing him multiple times is pretty bad. Unless David kept 2 lands, 5 spells, or 5 lands, 2 spells.
Right. Which wouldn't be the first time. We've seen that happen already happened once, and Todd Anderson's the one who did it, right? Even in his quarterfinal match. All right, there's a mountain for David. No turn 1 play. And land down for Todd. Ships a turn. No turn 2 play for David either. I think he just kept a Koth heavy hand.
I think Todd wants to play the Lord, but it's a bad idea. He really, he has Lord and Phantasmal Image that he wants to put in.
I think he just wants to represent Mana Leak and just, try and make sure David doesn't
play Chandra's Phoenix and hit for 2.
And he draws Mana Leak there.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Do you go for Bear? Or does he have a Bear? Sorry. Maybe his Image, sorry. If he hits 4 lands, he could go Unreal Image.
Yeah, that's the play. That's the other play besides 1-for-1-ing that. He has a legitimate chance of winning with that.
And if he can, so say David taps that, David's like Koth. That'd be insane for Todd. He can go Mana Leak, untap, Unreal Image. All right, there's Stormcrook Noble. He could just Mana Leak here to get him to tap out. That seems pretty bad though. Goblin Arsonist, okay, and then ships back to Todd. Mana Leak's still sitting there. Todd really wants. If you're Todd Anderson, do you go for it?
Go for those 2 creatures?
Yeah, go for those 2 creatures.
There's no instant speed removal spell. That David has.
He's gonna Incinerate.
Oh, he does have points. Never mind, there is.
Okay, so if he has Incinerate, you're blowing out. But if you're on 5 cards, you have to be like, well, if he has it, he has it. Or do you try and play deliberately?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems very difficult to win without doing it.
I mean, I guess if you go for Lord of the Unreal and then you play your Phantasmal Image and he's like, all right, we'll kill your Unreal in response.
Yeah,
so you
then
can
you
still
just
copy,
a Chandra's Phoenix.
Or Goblin Arsonist or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
whoa.
He just plays the...
I don't like that.
I don't like that play either. I think you just go and try and set up your Lord of the Unreal.
It's such a big thing to have a 3/3 hexproof.
Yeah, so the play that Todd made is he just played the Phantasmal Image and copied the Goblin Arsonist, so he can guaranteed kill the Stormcrook Noble. But even with Gutshot in his hand, even I don't know. I don't like the play. So David does have the Incinerate, so it wouldn't have turned out great for Todd.
Unless Todd has a read, he might have a read on him.
It is possible. If I were in Todd's shoes, assuming I didn't have some kind of insane read, I probably made the other play. But maybe Todd just... Does that revoke existence?
That is revoke existence.
Interesting. All right, so there is Lord of the Unreal, which resolves.
And he has a 2/2 Goblin Arsonist.
Gonna make sure those 1/1s don't attack. All right, and David incinerates that. Todd chooses to not mana leak it. Doesn't want to get coughed out of nowhere.
Well, Mana Leak wouldn't resolve. Or Mana Leak would resolve, but it wouldn't counter anything. End of turn, 5 lands in play. All right, Todd Anderson.
Oh, he had 5. Gotcha. I thought he only had 4.
Things are just going from bad to worse for Todd. I don't see him getting out of this one.
And there's Stormblood Berserker.
He doesn't make a haunt either. Doesn't make 1/1 because he knows the writing's on the wall. He's just like, meh.
I don't think he has a white source.
Yeah, he does.
No, I think those are 2 haunts.
Oh, they're 2 haunts? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a Glacial Fortress, I guess.
David draws, crashes in with a couple different guys, drops Todd to 9 life. Looks like Illusion's run might be finally coming to an end.
Yeah.
Goblin
Made it
Arsonist
all the way to the
down.
top 4.
Todd
I think
draws.
Kelly's safe with her bigger trophy for the time being.
There's a bear for Todd Anderson. Ships the turn back to David. David untaps with his vast army, and I think just push with everybody here. I really want to just push with everybody. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not right. I haven't done the math, but. All right,
and that's it.
And that's it. Todd loses, so David Dobernea picks up mono red, and Scott Tompkins on the other side of the bracket also. So we're gonna have a mono red mirror match in the finals.
A mono red mirror match in the finals. That's interesting. Have we ever had that in SCG?